how have you sort of reworked your relationships this past year to allow yourself to go deeper, to know that you have more people than just one person to call on
Right.
if those moments arise?
Um, I think it was because I'm someone probably like you who I'm always about everybody just be open, blunt, honest. There was no judgment. Like you are not
Yeah.
in control of what you feel. So like there's no judgment on like it is what it is.
Yeah.
And why would I judge you for feeling how you like let's get it out in the let's
Mm,
air it all out.
yeah.
But here I was not doing that. And I think that and that's so hard to recognize. It felt hypocritical in a sense, but I didn't care because I was just down. I was probably experiencing some form of depression, which I've never had in my life. And I think like I was having a conversation with Austin one day and he was just like, it's like, I just don't know what's up with you. Like you seem unmotivated, you seem blah, blah, blah. And it's like one of those things where I had in the back of my mind, I knew however I was appearing to friends or to people, all of it was based off of basically state of the world and Naya passing away.
Yeah.
And if those things are always there, like of course they're going to be to an extent, well, because it's so recent.
Mm,
But like, what am I doing to help myself through that? Because
yeah.
I wasn't. And he was him being able to say like this is how you're coming off was surprising because that's not
Mm,
how I'm thinking. Like I know
mhm.
I'm unmotivated, but I'm not thinking about it in the terms of, oh, I'm so unmotivated to do things. In my head, I'm like, I don't want to do things because like what's real in the world? Yeah, like the
Mm,
perspective
mhm.
shift of reality versus like this stuff over here doesn't matter. And
Right, right.
this looks like I'm coming off as unmotivated, which I was. And I was like, yeah, I am unmotivated. Like one of my
Mhm.
best friends passed away and I'm still working through that. I haven't been able to like see her family. I haven't been able to like do these. I've been able to see some of my like Glee friends, which has been great. We're all super, super close. So that's super helpful. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? Y- You don't you don't know how to handle this. I mean, the other thing is like, yeah, we've unfortunately been through this a couple times, but every time is very, very different. And this time was even extra special different
Yeah.
because it's when you have a world full of people dying from a pandemic and then like this unexpected
Yeah.
seriously crazily unexpected tragedy happens,
Mm,
that's hard under the most normal of circumstances. And
mm.
so I just think being able to voice that, it was one of those like late night kitchen conversations, you know.
A helpful
And
cookie was involved.
yeah, probably. And I think he was probably just like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know if I can cuss. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you can cuss. Don't worry.
Okay, great. Yeah, he's like, what the fuck is going on? Because it probably looked like it was coming off like I was being rude to him or like not being as affectionate to him. I was just like, I am in a rut.
Yeah.
I'm just like I was working on a project with one of my friends and we had to write all this music and stuff in the fall. And I knew I had exactly 0% motivation to do it. Now I knew
Yeah.
I should be doing it. And so in my head, I was like, I'm just going to show up. Like I'm just physically going to show up. And if I have the motivation to do, and that was my way of sort of pushing myself, you know, to get out of bed, to do something else. And I don't know if that was helpful because it's not like the people I was with couldn't feel that, I'm sure. But it's one of those things where like, okay, am I going to regret more not getting back on the horse of doing, you know, living every day, like your daily life stuff that you have to do?
Mm,
Because it's a vicious cycle, isn't it? It's like, well, I didn't do
yeah.
this. And then am I going to make myself feel bad about that later? Like, "Ah, you didn't even do that." And so it's that, and this is all of these things are new to me. Like
Yeah.
when Corey from Glee passed away, it was entirely different where we were all together. We could sort of grieve together,
Mm,
bawl on each other's shoulders, go to each other's houses. It was a lot of that. This was we met up a couple times, like outside socially distanced sort of things, or in smaller groups. And it was nice because we'd all just get together and sit in a circle and talk. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I just think like the circumstances in which, sorry to keep talking about this, but
No, no, please. I think what I'm hearing from you as well is and I wanted to bring this light because I've always stuck with me from our first conversation, but it's you said before that the pandemic was going to be stages of grief, right? So then add the stages of grief of just the pandemic and then the grief of losing a friend and put those two together. I mean, that's a hefty ask,
yeah. And
right?
it felt
So
like that. It did feel
yeah.
like I don't have the tools to work through this.